Hello everyone and welcome to the special edition of Women's World. We are making a special coverage marking the very important visit by Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry to Gabon to participate in the African Development Conference, and we will be talking about the status of African women with our guest today, Mrs. Amira Al-Masri, educational consultant. Thank you very much, Mrs. Amira, for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Now, to start with, in your opinion, how far did African women attain their social and economic rights in Africa?
Well, that would be a very broad question, but we can narrow it down into the fact that many of the African countries have shown great progress in how they give special attention to women development. But I believe that it's more important for women themselves to understand their value and what are they capable of in order to help the entire community not only progress but blossom, because women's role are extremely vital and important. So we can give an example of the great progress we can see in Tunisia, because Tunisian women have proven that they can excel in so many different areas, whether in politics, in arts, in so many different areas, and Egyptian women as well. African women should be very proud. If we're talking about different parts of Africa, the major and key role over here is that women underestimate their potential and their abilities, and they are driven by what they've been told through the media and different cultures over the years. What they need to understand is that they are not only capable, but they are a key element in the change of the world, not only their cities or their countries, but the entire world.
And in your opinion, how can women in Africa achieve compatibility and equity and equality in so many fields, like the practical, the scientific, and so on?
Well, I would say women all over the world need to understand their value. And I'm not a big fan of calling for equality, because equality means we're the same. However, we're not. Men and women are beautiful human beings and creatures,
we're talking
but
about
we're
equal
different.
opportunities, not equality. Equal
all right.
opportunities.
Yes, thank you very much. No, I believe hard work and understanding of your own worth and value would help you achieve. Not only that, the fact that women are granted better opportunities for better education, and with spreading understanding and awareness of treating women fairly, women are just going to be rock stars.
Okay. What are the main major African countries, in your opinion, which have achieved progress when it comes to the empowerment of women? We have seen so many African countries where women became presidents, other countries in Africa where women represent 50% of the members of parliament, and in other African countries where women have actually helped or contributed in making the political and social changes, even the legal or constitutional changes required, like Tunisia, as you mentioned.
Well, I wouldn't name countries, because that would be narrowing down all the achievements and the great steps they're taking forward. But I would give an example of Egypt. Women in Egypt have made great progress. They have, as you just mentioned, they've been in many political places, and not only in politics, but even in education, in pharmaceutical, and so many different major areas. They have achieved a lot of respectful moves.
Okay, well, let's take a short break, Mrs. Amira, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
نحن نحن لدينا مصير مشترك.
مصر تسلمت الرئاسة الدورية للاتحاد الإفريقي لعام 2019 وتتطلع كعادتها دوما للتعبير عن شواغل الشعوب الإفريقية الشقيقة الرامية لتحقيق الاستقرار والتقدم ودفع عجلة التنمية قدما. إذا كنتم ترغبون في تغيير وجه القارة الأفريقية فالاتحاد الإفريقي كقيادة تستطيع أن تعمل وتدرس بشكل مركزي لمشروع عملاق لبناء بنية أساسية على مستوى القارة. أنا أتصور أن الأمن والاستقرار استثمار. إذا لم تستقر هذه القارة والأمن فيها بمعدلاته عالية هذا الأمر سينعكس بالسلب علينا كلنا.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And now, Mrs. Amira, I would like also to know your opinion when it comes to family status and personal status for African women, and how did that help them achieve progress in so many fields?
Well, it's different from one African country to another because Africa is a very large continent, and it has different ethnics, religions, backgrounds, and cultures. But in general, women play a major role in every family because it's the mother, the sister. And when women understand their value, they can be very, very effective because they are nurturing, educating the upcoming generations. And not only that, when a young lady sees her mother as a key role player in a major hospital or in a political position, or even as a housewife, which is nothing to be ashamed of, because here's a problem. People believe that if a woman is not a successful working woman, then she has achieved nothing, which is not true, because the fact that she has helped her children become the best they can is success in itself. So African women, they have just helped presidents become presidents, politicians, doctors, soccer players. Africa is very well known for their football activities.
Yes.
Beautiful, strong young men who are, and young women as well, because we have soccer all around Africa now for women and for men.
Well, if we're talking about the status of women in Africa is varied across nations, as you said, and regions. For example, in Rwanda is the only country in the world where women hold more than half the seats in parliament, 51.9%. Also, Morocco only has one female minister in its cabinet, while here in Egypt we have 11 female ministers in the cabinet. Despite these strides towards equality, women still face various issues related to gender inequality, and you wanted to talk about that.
Yes, true. Here's the point. Women should understand their value regardless of what the society is telling them. And counting numbers for me is just not the right way to do it. If we have 9 or 10 or 11 and another nation has 1 or 2, it shouldn't be based on your gender. It should be based on your qualifications, your persistence, your determination. Yes, it is true that for so many years, and I may call centuries, women were deprived the right to achieve their best potential. But nowadays, women are pushed really hard. And by doing that, it's not based on quality of work. So we need to balance it, because now we have a chance and we have the wisdom. If I'm capable of doing things, I shouldn't sacrifice my family. I shouldn't sacrifice raising up my children in order to achieve a position or success in a position, unless it is what I really want. So here's the point. women should be free to choose what they want and take responsibility for it. But now that the media and the society is pushing women toward success in their jobs and their professions, nevertheless ignore their homes, I don't believe that this is the right recipe for success. It has to be her choice, whether she wants to do this or that. And in both situations, she's successful.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much, Mrs. Amira Al-Masri, Education Consultant. Thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in our special coverage. I'm Hal Hamilawi signing off for now.